You're welcome once again. I'm Sampro, the music producer, and just as what we did last time, we talked about the tracking of "You Alone" by Steve Brown. Now I want to explain how the mixing. Yeah, just talk a little about the mixing of his own vocal and the backups, and we'll talk about the instrument the other time. So after the tracking of his own lead voice, we have. Let me see, where is this? Okay, here is it. Let me kill every other. Let me see. The first thing I like to put on my vocals is the CLA. I love the CLA 2A a lot. The way it compresses and it really worked on the vocal so that it won't clip. If by mistake, let's say you record a clip sound with the peak reduction, I set it always around 60 or above 60 a lot. Then with my gain, I push it above 40 a lot. So you can see it's not pumping too much. See, it's not pumping too much. That if you don't set this very well, sometimes it will be good for you not to even use it at all. So I use this to curb the clipping or the tearing sometimes that we hear in audio. Then after that, I still use the normal Logic Pro compressor. I always love this particular compressor. You can see your makeup gain is around 5. Your threshold, I set it around 20. And the attack, so this is just to make the word bright a little. I'm sure you can see the difference. So let me play it again. Yeah. You can see. So you can hear. So you hear the difference. So those things that were curbed by the CLA2, there are some things that were curbed that actually I need to hear them as a result of trying to curb the distortion. This other compressor will bring it up again, and that's what you can hear. Then the next plugin I use is my EQ. There is no fixed way of setting this. You set your EQ based on the vocals that you recorded. There are some people, you can see that I dropped this around 1K. It's because there's a way his voice is pointing around the 1K, in which if you don't cut it from there, it is sounding one kind. The mid will be somehow much. So I cut it normally. I cut down to 100 or the lows, and I cut a little from 200. Why I do this? Sometimes you don't even need to boost your high frequency. The rumbling, there's a way that the frequency, the things around 200, it cause the vocals to be dirty and be rumbling. So I just cut it down a little, and that's what you are seeing. That's why I can hear this area. Then I patch a reverb. I used the Space Designer, like the default. I just adjusted a little. I put it on direct on it. Then so I have to set my DSR. I use the Wave R DSR. So this is covering those things on the high frequency. That's the advantage of, that's the use of this RDSR. So you can hear it now. Knowing fully that, okay, we still EQ a little from on the mastering session. Yeah, so you can hear the difference without the DSR. Yeah. So you can see with the DSR it's covering it a little. Then I will have to bust some things out on, like on my bus 4. I have my delay on bus 4 as I use the normal stereo delay from. Just as I said, I love using 10.2. If you were to be 10 or 9, I'm using. Most of these things I use the wave plugin, but with this 10.2, obviously they've really tried to meet up with what waves and other plugins, VST plugins are offering. So now I prefer to use some of these. So on my bus forward is the delay. So and that yes, and that's what you're hearing. You can see the difference. This before the delay. Now this with the delay. Okay. So you have to make your delay so man, once you notice the delay, I always encourage people you drop it. Once you notice it, you drop it a little. Since you know you are still mastering, those things will come out more in mastering. And there's one thing I always like to talk about. Sometimes when you're on this page working, try to mix. Either your artist beside you, we always want you to do things as if you're on the mastering page. If you mix as if you're on the mastering page, page, your work will definitely distort. So you need to keep everything minus there. If it's reverb, once you notice the reverb, you drop it a little. If it's the delay, once you notice the delay, you drop it a little. At that point, you notice the delay, you drop it, because in the mastering, when you are boosting, correcting frequency and boosting, all these things will still come out well. Then I kept arrow verb there. I love this dry verb. It's dry, but you still notice it. Then this is how I use my reverb. I increase the pre-delay. So funny. I drop my early reflection down completely. I kept my time around 1.7. My size, gain, everything. So that's why you see that you can see have sounding like a hole yet dried. Yes, so I did for now. That is everything about the lead voice. That's just all I did on the lead voice. Then let's talk about the backup, which is very, 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 very important. A good tracking where you set the microphone is very, very important in this. Not just to record directly to the microphone as is a direct backup. When you want to achieve something like a congregation singing, definitely when the backup singers are singing, you keep this microphone away. I have a microphone that I have an auto attenuation, so it makes the works very, very easy for me. I set the auto attenuation, then I tell them to stay far. They record everything so calm and cool. So on my backup, the first thing I love to use is this JJP vocals. There's a precept I love so much, the presence vox. Once I put it on, I just tweak for me to achieve what it does a lot for my backup. Sometimes that's just all I even need. So after putting that, I try to put EQ. The EQ will help me to cut. There are some bells sometimes that you hear that I don't like. So you can see, okay, I've cut here. I drop it a little bit around the 500, and when it comes to 5K as well, yes, there is a bell around there. There is a sound I'm hearing there that I don't like. So I have to, kind of cut it a little too from that place for you to hear the brightness. You don't cut it too much so that the brightness will not just disappear. You can hear. Listen. So you can hear. So after then, I can now add my main compressor. The compressor is still for bright vocals. Then while we are doing the recording, I noticed some noise, so I have to use my NS1 as well to cut it. Then there are some funny things I do these days too. I set a particular frequency, compressor for vocals, but I've bossed it. It's not directly on the bus. I kind of send it to another bus so that I can send the bus button to it. There's a way it is set too. I think the main thing to explain here is on the graph. I increase the nil of that one, increase the attack, then drop the lyrics, the release, drop the makeup gain and the threshold. The advantage is to make it sound synced. The way it is when you're on stage, you are recording backups that are not directly to the microphone. This is what this compressor does for me. So what I just do is that I send I send it out a little from it from the boss to it, so you can hear the compression. And another thing it will help you to do is that it will help you to set. You see vocal before that compression, just like the pre and the post. Then you see vocals after the compression. The advantage of it is that if your vocal before the compression is somehow harsh, you can drop it and increase that. But if it's too soft, somehow you increase the one before, that's the direct backup, and reduce the vocals after the compression. Yeah, so you can see it's sounding sipped already. Then for the backup, I bought my reverb as well. So I love this. I use this normal space designer and then the vocal plate. That's what I normally use. You can see the large space. Then you go to plate reverb and choose your vocal plate. When you do that, then send your boss to it. You will really feel that stage. That's as if you are in a hall. You feel the stage where it won't be too much dried, but you feel the. So that's what I do. Then with my delay too as well. I said the delay. So that is everything about the vocals there. And if you still want to achieve more of this choir, because if you listen to the song very well, there are some points that you'll be hearing it from far, as if it's just the congregation that is singing. This is what I do in places that are like, okay, I think we have something like that. Yeah. I bounce my audio I mean, bounce to place. Yeah, something like this nature. Okay, you can hear something like this. So, then on it, I love using either a multipressor. A multipressor will help it out a lot. You just know your frequencies that you want to, congregation singing. There are so many things you can say. I cut the lows very well. I compress the low down for you not to. Then this is the bounce to. Then the channel as well. You cut those bars off. You set your chorus. Then there's this thing I use from Apple. It helps a lot, a lot. By default, once you put this on, you will be hearing those things. So you can imagine by the time you combine this and your normal backup together, it will be as if, okay, you have like 40 people singing as well. So I think that's just all about the mixing of You Alone by Steve Crown. Then on my mastering part, which we will discuss in our next video, I will let you know those when we get there. So thank you very much once again. I hope you enjoy the tutorials, and I want you to ask me questions as well, which I'm ready to answer you. Thank you once again. I'm Sampro from Oba Multimedia. God bless you. You alone are worthy to be praised. Let me hear you say.